and welcome to my latest edition of Your Property Matters. And today I'm joined by Suzanne Trisk of Your Home Move. Hello, Suzanne.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. So I think really just start off with, who are Your Home Move? Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So Your Home Move typically works with families and individuals who are daunted by the prospect of moving house, particularly if they haven't done so for many years. And they really need help and hand-holding, being guided through the process on a practical and a kind of physical help level.
Okay, all right. So what does that actually mean in real life?
Well, in real life, it would mean that you as the customer doesn't actually have to do anything, and I do it all for you. So it's planning everything to make sure nothing gets missed and everything is done to time. Okay. On a practical level, I'd be the one getting up the ladder, getting the things down from the loft or the top of the wardrobe, sitting down with you, going through everything to see if you wanted to keep it, if you didn't want to keep it, what you wanted to do with it. And just make sure everything fits into your house that you're going to, or your flat or your retirement home, whatever it is, and disposing of anything, selling things for you at auction, taking things to charity, just doing everything that needs to be done, anything and everything, just to make sure it all goes smoothly and you don't have to worry.
So then me as the estate agent, I would go around and take a property on. And I always get the feel, you walk into somebody's house and generally, and I don't want to generalize, but you can tell me whether I'm right or wrong with this, is that I go into generally an older person's house and start talking to them about me selling their property and pick up on a vibe that they're nervous or they haven't done this for a long time. And then I'll talk about, look, I'll be able to guide you and help you through the process as an estate agent, which basically means I will always talk them through everything that I'm doing and explain it to them. But obviously, I'm not going to physically be in their house unless I'm doing a viewing and things like that. So I guess this is more like where your company takes over, is it?
That's right. So we do the logistics of it. And even if we're not doing everything ourselves, we work alongside the clients or the client's family, whoever they've got to help them, just to make sure that they are aware of all the processes and everything that needs to be done. So working with estate agents like yourself, just to make sure it all goes smoothly. And a lot of it, as I'm sure you know, is about reassurance.
Yeah, it is.
And once people know what they're meant to be doing and when they're meant to be doing, when they're meant to be doing it, it's actually, they relax straight away, I think. I just think quite often, as you know, processes have changed, and particularly if people haven't moved for 30 or 40 years, not only have they got the emotional aspect of going through all their possessions, which bring up huge amounts of memories, good and bad, but also procedures have just generally changed. So they don't know where to start with clearing the loft and all their items, but they also don't know where to start in terms of the practicalities of paperwork and things like that you need to sort out before you move or as you're moving.
Yeah, absolutely. So typically, would your clients be older people?
In the main, they are older people who, like I say, have been in their houses for maybe 30, 40 plus years, but it's not exclusively so. But it is quite often downsizers or people going into care homes or retirement villages, that kind of thing. But no move is the same. Some of the practical aspects of helping someone move are obviously the same because there are the same procedures. But in terms of dealing with different people, their needs, they might need to be in touch with a solicitor or a financial advisor or a carpet fitter, or might need me to go and buy them some brooms and black bags or a mirror for the bathroom. So every move is different and every move is very personal. And it really depends, where they're going, how much space they have, and what their personal requirements are.
So how about their own network of family and friends? How do they sort of fit in?
Well, my clients do fall into different categories, really. Sometimes they're people that just want to outsource everything. They do have people to help them, but they don't want to, and they just want someone else to take over and do everything for them. Other times it's working alongside family or friends, and it's me communicating with them as well as the client on what's happening and where we are with things, just keeping them up to date. And other times the clients have absolutely no one to help them whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I'm just working with them directly and not informing anyone else. So it's very, very varied. I think generally it sounds slightly cheesy to say, but I do become like a member of the family, because you're involved in very sort of personal situations. Not only are you in their house, but you're going through private paperwork or possessions and things like that. And it brings out a lot of stories and a lot of just information generally, I suppose, when you're with people for a very long time and going through their things with them and helping them, and it's very emotional, like I said. So it's really, become a bit of a member of the family, whether they do have any other family or not. But it just always sort of brings a bit of a close bond, really.
So I think the whole concept of your business is so caring. How do people then get to hear about you in the first place?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I've got to say that I do really love it, and I do become really close to the clients. And I think a lot of it mainly actually is word of mouth.
Right.
Because once someone has worked with me, then they recommend to their friends. But we have a few things on social media and LinkedIn and those kind of things. But generally, it's word of mouth.
Yeah, I would imagine that people are sort of in that position. People in that position would be crying out for you and for that sort of service, but they probably don't think it even exists.
That's right.
Yeah,
sorry.
I totally get that completely. So how's it been in the last year and a bit since the pandemic? What have you noticed changes?
Well, since the pandemic, it's been quite difficult, because obviously people are reluctant to have other people in their homes.
Yeah.
Especially now, as the vaccines are rolling out, people hopefully be a little more comfortable. Mm-hmm. Of recent times, I'm now going for regular lateral flow tests, which are the tests to see whether you're asymptomatic or not.
Yeah.
So I'm going for weekly tests, although they're not 100% accurate, that hopefully they'll at least go some way to reassuring people, as much as trying to be as safe as I can and careful as I can. Mm-hmm. So the ways of working are very different, wearing PPE, both myself and the clients, trying to work in ventilated rooms, as much distance as possible.
Yeah.
We're doing more video or WhatsApp calls, right, okay, yeah, rather than face-to-face where possible. So where I would spend more time in someone's house before doing some decluttering and then discussing other things, mm-hmm, limiting the amount of time that we are together in person.
Are you finding the demand has increased or decreased?
The demand has changed slightly, in terms of the people that are not in a hurry to move have said, oh no, hang on, I'd like to wait. Yeah. There's obviously some people that have to move for medical reasons. Yeah. So that's going ahead no matter what. And because of the pandemic, people have also realised, especially if they've been on their own, they either would like to move into a care home or maybe move near a family.
Yeah.
So that's been something that's carried on. And also the fact that families can't now travel and help their loved ones has had an increase in demand. But overall, the business is probably the same, but the demand is coming from different areas now, just because people can't travel and help.
I'm finding that as well. I'm finding that as our normal routine of how we get business and operate our business drops off, it's replaced by something else, which still keeps us just as busy and keeps things moving, but it's just a different way. I think that what you're actually offering, what you're providing, is incredible. It really is. And I just think that as an estate agent, I'm certainly going to be recommending your services when I go into people's houses and I see that they're in that position, because however much I want to help people and want to, and do care about helping them and making sure that that their move goes smoothly and they're happy with it, I can't spend time actually doing the things that you can spend time doing. So I noticed, actually, I looked on your website and noticed that you also work with some charities.
That's right. Yes, it's really just working with charities generally on a referral basis, because
Yeah.
they also come across people that need some help.
Right.
Quite firmly linked with Age UK, for
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
with people that are all over the country, but quite often in sort of London and the southeast areas,
Yeah.
who do need an extra pair of hands. And sometimes, people don't think they need that much help at first. And then when they start talking about it and they think, actually, yeah, do you mind helping me with this as well? And, or could you just do that after all? And it's a very fluid offering, really. People can just start off with a very small bit and then say, oh yes, actually I'd like this as well. And sometimes people say, oh no, I won't need your moving day, it's totally fine, that's okay. And I always keep it free. And then they always say, actually, do you mind, could you come and unpack after all? And it's just so much nicer. I make them a cup of tea, or we have bring some lunch, whatever it is. And I also try and unpack all the boxes as much as possible, everything if I can, just so that they can relax on their first night and they're not surrounded by boxes, and they can actually just think, oh, phew, and just sort of enjoy their new house.
Really good, really, really good. I think it's just, I love it. I love it. You know what? I've known you for a little while now, and I never really get the opportunity to hear what you do on a practical day-to-day basis. So, I mean, the purpose of my channel of Your Property Matters is really to look at every single aspect there is with property. And you've got obviously the legal side, the financial side, the removal side of it. But I love the fact that this is very niche and very different. And I think it's something that actually more and more people should be made aware of, that this sort of service is here. So, Suzanne, I really want to thank you for joining me today. If anybody wants to get in contact you, we've got your numbers on the screen there. Whereabouts are you based?
So I'm based in West London, but we work absolutely anywhere and everywhere. So even move someone to Manchester. So it doesn't matter where anyone wants to go to or from, happy to travel and to help out.
Excellent. Yeah, so thank you very much for joining me today, and look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you very much. Lovely to speak to you.
Okay, then, bye-bye.